Alright everyone, welcome back to my channel, Baseball Talk with McMorgan. So today, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys about the big news that Major League Baseball fans received yesterday in response to the 2018 Boston Red Sox cheating scandal, if you even want to say that. This wasn't that big of a deal. I'm not going to go ahead and protect the Red Sox, really go ahead and say that what they did was okay, because it wasn't. They did go against the laws and the rules of the game, but what they did, what you considered cheating, was not as intense as the Houston Astros scandal, which is actually a big deal that happened in 2017. Now, we all know about that. The punishments were released. I made videos on the Houston Astros, their cheating scandals, the punishments, all that good stuff. We talked about that already. But after a 3-month investigation, Rob Manfred officially has punishments for the Boston Red Sox. And if you don't know exactly what they did, we are going to go ahead and cover it in this video. But it was not as big of a deal as the Astros. Again, I'm not going to defend what the Boston Red Sox did in any way, shape, or form, because they did go against the laws of the game to go ahead and get more wins in the regular season, but it is still cheating at the end of the day, and they had to get punished in some way, shape, or form. So we have the official punishments. We're going to go ahead and talk about that. We're going to go ahead and kind of talk about the man behind this, because it was really one single guy who did all the work, and then we're just related to the players, and we're kind of compare the Red Sox and the Astros, what they did differently, and why the punishments are different. So if you guys are ready for this video, don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Without further ado, let's get into it. So going forward, if we think about this 2018 Boston Red Sox cheating issue, we're going to think about one guy. That is the man with the plan himself, J.T. Watkins. Now, I believe his official title is the replay room operator. And if you guys don't know, every team in Major League Baseball has a replay room where players can go ahead and use footage to help them with a general knowledge going into a game or a series. So for example here, say Gerrit Cole's with the New York Yankees and they're coming up against a series with the Houston Astros. Gerrit Cole, before or after any game, can go into this replay room, talk to the operator, and watch video footage of hitters. So say he's going to face Jose Altuve. He wants to see what Altuve has a hard time hitting. He can go ahead, look back at footage, and Gerrit Cole can plan out his attack for Altuve when he's on the mound. That is allowed, again, before and after every game throughout the entire season in Major League Baseball. But what the Red Sox did was a little bit different. So apparently, J.T. Watkins, who again is the replay room operator, he would go ahead and decode signs in real time. He would send it, to the best of my knowledge, to the dugout. And then from there, the dugout, someone in the dugout would relay the sign to a base runner at second. And from there, the runner at second base would go ahead and relay it to the batter on what pitch was coming next. So this is a little bit different than the Houston Astros. If we talk about the Houston Astros here, we know that in 2017, they used the camera, they decoded the signs, and in real time, banged on something to go ahead and relay the knowledge to the batter. And this would give him the pitch that was coming next. If it was a changeup, there'd be a bang. Fastball, no bang. Same thing with curveballs, cutters, whatever the pitch might be. And that would be established before the game, right? So that was a big difference there. The Red Sox cannot do this every time if there's not a runner on second base. And I don't think this was used in the 2018 postseason. The investigation said it wasn't, but the same thing was said about the 2017 Houston Astros in the postseason, and they apparently did. So I'm going to go ahead and say that the Red Sox did not use this to the benefits of themselves in the 2018 postseason, but we don't exactly know for sure, and the investigation says not, but again, we can't tell. So a lot different here. The punishments are obviously going to be a lot less harsh, but there are still going to be punishments. So again, this did not occur in the 2018 postseason where they won the World Series, and this did not occur in the 2019 regular season. So it is a lot more different than the Houston Astros. I'm looking at my notes here. If we talk about the investigation, there were 65 different witnesses and a couple that Rob Manfred met with one-on-one. Now, within those 65 witnesses, 34 of them were current or former Red Sox players. They were interviewed, asked questions about the scandal or the issue and what happened. Now, this was a 3-month-long investigation, so whether or not it really needed that much time, there was still a lot of effort put into this on Rob Manfred's behalf and behalf of Major League Baseball. So they did do a lot of research. They went through thousands of different emails, texts, video clips, and photos throughout this 3-month span, and I really like what they did. I mean, the punishments aren't crazy harsh, but they're not soft either. I'm going to go ahead and talk about that next, what the punishments exactly were and what I think could have been done differently. But The Red Sox, for the most part, yes, they did cheat in 2018. They did win the World Series that year, but the postseason was not affected by this cheating scandal. It was just the regular season to help them get more wins, win the division, whatever the case may be. So that is that. The Red Sox did cheat with the replay video room operator, JT Watkins, really being the main guy behind it. But let's get into the punishments, see what's actually going to be affecting them in 2020. So there are 3 parts to this Boston Red Sox punishment, and the first is going to be the suspension of Alex Cora for the 2020 season through the 2020 postseason. Now, this is not for the Red Sox cheating issue. This is for his role that he had with the Houston Astros. That is important to note, because apparently Cora had no idea what was going on. He did not know that the Red Sox were cheating in 2018, which I'm not sure if I understand or agree with. I think if you're the manager and you're in that dugout every game, you have to know something, but I guess he might not have known. I just don't know if that's 100% true. He says he doesn't know, so I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to trust him on that, but really, if you're there, you know all the players, you know what's going on, I would have to assume that he was at least a little bit suspicious. But again, that's just my opinion. He said that he did not know what was happening. So good for Alex Cora if that's the case. But in 2017 with the Houston Astros, the year before, he had a huge part in helping the Astros cheat and win the World Series. Again, they were supposedly using it in the postseason to help benefit them. Cora was suspended for 2020 because of that. Now, if we look back a couple months ago, at least a couple weeks ago, I made a video about Alex Cora being fired by the Boston Red Sox. So this is where my problem comes in to the punishment. I don't love that they just suspended him through 2020 because he already doesn't have a job. The Red Sox fired him. They have an interim manager. And how long is this 2020 season going to be? For me, if I were to tweak this a little bit, of course, he has to be suspended through 2020 because he doesn't have a job as a manager. The Red Sox fired him, but I would also go ahead and suspend him through 2021 just because we should know that that is a full season and that he won't have a job. If the Red Sox did not fire Cora previously, I think this would be a fine punishment, but that'd be the only change I have to that little portion of this. So again, Alex Cora is suspended through the 2020 postseason. Now, on to JT Watkins, again, the replay room operator. For him, he is suspended without pay through the 2020 season and the playoffs. Now, he cannot do this job in 2021 either, so he cannot go back after the 2020 season is over and become the replay room operator for the 2021 season. So I don't know if he's going to have a job in the future with guys like AJ Hinch and Alex Cora, who had big parts in the cheating scandals for the Astros. It doesn't look like they're going to have a job in the future, so I don't know how similar this is going to be with JT Watkins, and really how big of a need is a replay room operator for most teams in Major League Baseball. I think you can kind of find better guys than JT Watkins who have found themselves in trouble with Major League Baseball and the rules, so it doesn't look like he'll have a job anytime soon anyway, so this really isn't crazy, but the Red Sox had to do something and address him, and so did Major League Baseball, so I get that. JT Watkins is suspended without pay through 2020, and he will not be returning in 2021 as the replay room operator. Now, their final portion of this punishment here is a loss of the second round draft pick in the 2020 draft. This really isn't anything crazy either. We know that this season is going to be shortened. We don't know how the draft is going to be affected by the coronavirus. I'm assuming it'll still play out. I think the NFL draft is actually today, but we don't know how this is going to happen here. Loss of a second round draft pick, big deal. The punishment's obviously going to be a little bit different, and that is the end for the Boston Red Sox. Nothing else is happening to the players, to the organization, the franchise, whatever. That's it. Those 3 things. Cora suspended, Watkins suspended, and a loss of a second round draft pick. So obviously not too bad if you're the Red Sox. You're kind of getting off a little easy, but I do think that this could be justified, that their punishment is kind of fitting for what they did. It wasn't as big as the Astros. We all know that. So of course the punishment could not be as hefty on the Red Sox behalf. So I kind of like this. I think this is okay. I mean, there's not much else you could do. Maybe add a fine in there, not for $5 million, or maybe $1 million at the most. But at the end of the day, this is a decent punishment. I'm going to have to go ahead and say that I agree with this, even though I don't like the Red Sox. This is fitting for them, and I think it's going to kind of help other teams, or force the other team's hands to not cheat in the future. I mean, the Astros for sure, but at the end of the day, there's been cheating in Major League Baseball for years now. I mean, even, the past couple decades, just relaying the signs from second base to the batter. I mean, it's going to happen. It is inevitable, but it's just how far teams will push the limit. So the Red Sox have finally been punished, and that's what we're going to talk about here at the end of the day. So guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about the Boston Red Sox punishments down below in the comment section. Was this fair? Was this a little too harsh? Was it not harsh enough? I want to hear your opinions. Again, for me, I think this is fair and justifiable. I think the Boston Red Sox might have gotten off a little bit easy, but it does kind of fit what they did in the 2018 season. So guys, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Peace.